Well, here we are in week 8. We're talking about interviews again. We're talking about giving people perhaps redirection, shall we call it, correction, critiques, criticisms. Offering people constructive criticism is an art as well as a skill. And on the other side of the table, receiving constructive criticism is an art as well as a skill. Our first instincts, many times when we're receiving it, is to become defensive. And then on the other side, our immediate instinct in offering it sometimes is either to be overly aggressive uh, or to be avoidant, to be avoiding giving the direct news to someone. We need to get over that. Being part of a manager is dealing with problems. If you only had to deal with good news all day long, you probably wouldn't have a job. Your job is going to be managing people, and people, by their very nature, have conflicting interests, and you're going to have to reconcile those conflicting interests sometimes. Conflicting styles, conflicts in general. How are you going to do that? How are you going to redirect people so that your organization is better, but you have maintained your own integrity, maintained your own good standing with the people in your department? That's a tricky thing to do. It doesn't come naturally. You can become better at it. Some people simply start out more as people persons, and some people start out more as task-oriented persons. What we need to do is get all of you to look each other in the eye and discuss unpleasant business sometimes. There's a quote from The Sopranos that I always enjoyed when they said, "This isn't personal, it's business." Usually before something unpleasant happened in the show. We don't want to take it to that extreme, but we want to think of it that way. I don't want to make this a personal attack or a personal criticism. I want to make it constructive criticism. We want to walk out of the meeting feeling better about where we're at and where we're headed. If it's a termination meeting, that's a whole different story. We're not talking about that in this chapter. If it's a confrontational meeting, that can be part of an organization's culture. Sometimes things are simply confrontational. Once again, we're not really covering that so much in this chapter. But we're looking for ways to interview people, to conduct business in a way that is mutually beneficial for both sides. I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts, reading your examples, your details. We've used LexisNexis, we've used ProQuest. There's plenty of other databases there and journal holdings in our online library. Please feel free to go get more information now. That was one of the reasons why we forced you to use the library. See you on the discussion board.